Diane Smith, your Wire to Win DNA coach. So you see me this shirt, you know that I'm here to give you another coaching session on how to overcome and how to be a winner, because I believe that we're all born to win. But on life's way, we have challenges, and sometimes we just don't know. That's the honest to God truth. We just don't know how. When I was growing up, I never had a role model per se to say I could go to this person and talk to this person and share my dreams, my ideas. So I was basically just existing. I was just doing the do, going to school, doing my chores, just living life. I never had anybody in my life to say to me, do this, do that, or to even encourage me to say, you can do this, until I met a teacher. Yes. And in high school, I met a teacher when I was leaving high school, actually. And I met him on the road one day, and he said to me, hey, what are your plans? What are your hopes? And I said, plans? I don't have any. Because truth be told, I never had this sort of means that would give me what I wanted, and so I did not dream. I know that might be many of your story. The fact that you're from a low socioeconomic background, you do not have persons in your life to encourage, to motivate you. You do not have a role model that you could look up to and that can help you to get to where you want to be. And that's why I am here. That is why I got certified, really, to help people to become the best they can be, to create a space that you can get the kind of help that you wanted. Because of this one teacher who saw something in me, and he said, I think you should do this. And I, not only did he tell me, he helped me in that he put things in place that made me the successful person, or started me on the journey to being the successful person I am today. And as a Wire to Win DNA coach, that is what I want to do for you. So I thought I'd come on here and I will share some of the things that I do with my coaching, in my coaching sessions with you. And the one I want to focus on today really is about your history. I started out by saying that based on my history, I didn't have much dreams, much desire, much of anything. And it held me back, had it not been for the one teacher who spoke in my life. Many of us are being hindered by our history. Many of us are being placed in a box or forced to operate a certain way because of our history. Our history is preventing us from achieving, from succeeding, from winning. As part of the Wire to Win DNA coach session, mentorship and coaching session, I have my mentees do something. I have them write out their history. Here is the book that I use with my group. It's a Wire to Win planner. It's a Wire to Win productivity planner. Because in order for us to change our lives, we have to become productive. And there's a section in it that asks us to write about, and this book was written by Bishop Courtney McLean, and it can be obtained on Amazon. It's there on Amazon, or you can always DM me and I can, send me an email and we can work something out to get this a copy to you. But when I'm starting my coaching session with my new mentees, the first thing I have them do is write out their history. You have to know where you're coming from to know where you're going. You have to know where you're coming from to know where you're going. So the very first thing we do is we write out our history. And what is that? Your history is everything associated with your bloodline. Everything that is associated with your bloodline. So if you have diabetes, if you have a gambler in your family bloodline, if you have a drunkard in there, if you have a preacher, whatever it is in your bloodline, the history is important to know where you're coming from. It could be anger, it has to do with the person too. Anger, you're a person who you're impatient, you're a person who curse, you're a person who lies, you're a person who procrastinate, you're a person who is inconsistent, you do not finish what you start. All of that goes here, because not only are you going to write them down, you're going to identify. This forces you to see who you are. Michael Jackson sing a song in and he says that we have to start with the man in the mirror. And that is what this does. When you identify your history, you are starting with the man in the mirror. In order to get what God has for you, you have to know what are the things that are preventing you from getting it. Jeremiah 29:11 says, and this is God speaking to us, and he says to us, for I know the plans I have for you. I know the plans. So God has a plan. God has a blueprint for your life. But unless you cooperate with God, he cannot fulfill the things that he wants to fulfill in your life. He cannot allow you to accomplish, to achieve it, because he's a gentleman. He's not going to force himself on you. You have something and you offer your friend something, you borrow, let's just say you buy a pizza and say, hey, do you want a slice? And they said no. You're not going to force them to have it. Even though you know it's good and it's delicious. It's the same approach to our God. The Bible says, behold, he stands at the door and knock. Again, speaks to his character, that of being a gentleman. So he says in Jeremiah 29:11, I have plans for you. What are these plans? Plans to prosper you and to bring you into a good future. In order to come into what God has for you, the plans that he has for you, you have to first cooperate with God. That's number one. You have to cooperate. He's not going to push it on you. He's not going to force you to have it. You have to cooperate. You have to want it. And in your wanting it now, you're going to do the necessary step. And that's number two. Again, I'm a woman of action. So you have to take the necessary step. You have to do something differently. Somebody once said, if you do the same thing the same way, you're going to get the same result. So everything that you have been doing to this point in your life has not yielded much. It's time to do something different. Yes, it's time to venture out and do something way different from what you normally do. And that's what I'm trying to help you with today by being your coach, your mentor. I want to help you to change your story. It doesn't matter what has been in the past. That is why we have the history here. So you can own it. Yes, these things are part of who I am now. But my story doesn't end here, because God said he has a plan to give me a good future, a bright future, a wealthy future, a successful future. But in order to know where you're going, you have to know where you're coming from. Why? So that you can avoid those pitfalls, so that you can work against them. Once you have written down what it is that is hindering you, the things about your life that you do not like, because that's what our history is. We call them history because we are going to put them aside. They are going to be in the past. So those things that have been hindering you from moving into your successful destiny, into the kind of plans God has for you, you're going to put them down here. And when you do that, the next thing I want for you to do is that you're going to use these to develop prayer points. Right? Prayer points? Yes. Prayer points or declarations, because they take us into the second step. What's the second step? The second step is that we're going to write our new story. Yes, I'm giving you winning gems, winning habits to form. So one, you have the history, and I encourage you, get this book on Amazon. It's already laid out for you. It has so many areas to it, but we're just focusing on 2 areas today: writing your history and writing your new story. So once you have written out your history, you're going to write your new story. And the new story now tells of the new person you're going to be. So it must be the opposite of what is here. The opposite of what is here is what you are going to be writing here. And then these become your daily declaration. I am patient. I am finishing my degree in 2021. I am starting that business in hair care products. I am starting that business in nail tech. I am writing that book. You begin to declare. You know, Habakkuk tells us, the book of Habakkuk tells us that we're to write the vision down. And it's important for us to write the vision down because when we write it down, we keep it at the forefront of our mind. And the psychologists and other experts have said that when you write it down and you read it, it stays up here, it stays in your head much longer than if you just hear it. Okay? So once you're able to see it on paper, you have this to go back to from time and time and time again to remind you, why am I pushing so hard? Why am I doing the things I'm doing? Because you're trying to change your story. I am a living testimony that your story doesn't have to end the way it started. I started out poor. I started out without a direction. I started out without knowing what to do. But along the way, I met some people who impacted my life and caused me to walk in the pathway that God has for me. I want to help you to do that. So every Wednesday, we're going to have our Wire to Win session, our coaching and mentorship session, where I give you little nuggets to help you. Maybe you were like me. Maybe you are like me, who never had anybody to help, who didn't know where to turn or what to do. I want to give you little nuggets to help you get on the way. Guys, it's a big world out there. There are so many things to gain. There are so many things that you can achieve and accomplish. It's not in my time. It's much easier now, truth be told, than when I started out. So many opportunities are there. You just need principles and guidance to get there. And that's what I am here for. This doesn't have to be here too. You can have different sessions. It could be one-on-one sessions and I talk to you privately and get to know you a little bit more. Send me an email. The email address is below, and we will continue to talk. But for today, I want for you to know God has a plan. And in order for you to come into what God has for you, you have to change the story by first acknowledging the story and then creating the new one that you want to see. And that new story is what we are going to work on. And this is called a productivity planner because work is to be done. We have to be productive to get into the plan of God. And I want to help you to do that. So if you're interested in having individual coaching, send me an email and let me know. And we to help you with little nuggets to get there. Because I believe that if I can do it, you can do it. Have yourself an awesome day. Be inspired today and know that God has a plan and is waiting for you to cooperate with Him to achieve that goal. Until next time, leave me a like, share this video with others, and as always, let us continue the conversation by leaving me a comment and let me know one thing in your history that you want to change, right? One thing in your history that you would want to change that I can probably help you with somehow, and I will be sure to respond as best as possible to your comments. Have yourself an awesome day, and remember, cooperate with God to achieve His plan in your life.